Diary. The sociopathic mother-in-law next door entry. Today's date is... What is the day? It's Wednesday, 24th of December, 2025. And yesterday's entry, I think I got cut off. But I think I had said enough. So we'll just continue. Hiya. Where was I? I'll just continue. I said enough yesterday. I think I was just talking about roadkill being completely steamrolled. Anyway, so today, firstly, last night, after me entry, yesterday, at about 4:30, there was a delivery of bouquet of flowers from the husk. She didn't deliver it. It was, delivered by the florist. And the note just said, "Happy birthday. Have a great day." No happy 50th birthday, nothing overly personalised, not even to the point where you actually acknowledge the size of the birthday. Maybe it's too painful to acknowledge that it's a big milestone and you're getting no access. So today I'm out with the dog, walking down the hill, and up the hill, the husk ATM, and I just had this. I'm just staring at the husk. She just won't even look at it because she doesn't have any respect for anybody, and now she knows. She knows that I know what she is. She just dismisses me altogether. Doesn't want to deal with this. I get the real her. I get the unfiltered, true her. Horrid person who's got no respect, who won't give you the time of day, and just ignores what outwardly ignores it. So they go past in their car, and I just get this horrible, sick gut feeling that she's gonna go to the house, and the beacon is in the kitchen making a cheesecake, and I couldn't help myself. I had to just turn around, take a shortcut back to the house and see. And sure enough, when I got back up onto the street level, there's the ATM in his car sitting outside, and the husk has obviously gone round the back. And she, just as I get towards the car, she comes down the drive into view, and I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you doing on my property? What do you haven't got permission to, do not, told you before, do not come on this property without an invitation, without permission. I've been to see my daughter," like nastily, like, because she can't be nice to us anymore because she knows that I know what she is. Like, if she was a normal person, you've realised that you're on somebody else's property. You're there to do a good deed, ultimately. That's what you think. You're there to see your daughter, give her some Christmas, birthday gifts, whatever. You're there for what you perceive as a good deed, but you know it's awkward when I come into the frame, the man of the house. Thank you. when I say man in the house, I don't mean I'm in charge, I'm in control. I mean, a man carries a lot of pride for his home, his castle, his boundaries. He's a protector. I'm a protector. I'm protecting my family from that thing standing in front of me. So, what was I saying? So, if she was a normal person, tethered to reality, she would say, you would expect somebody like that to say, look, boogeyman, I know it's difficult, and I know that, nobody's given us permission to be here, but really, I just wanted to drop off some gifts and now I'm away. Please, let's not argue. That's what a normal person would do. That's called respect, because it's my property. And unfortunately, you have to respect that. But she can't do that, because that would mean respecting me. And she thinks her daughter is too weak to tell her to go away. But the way she said, I'm here to see my daughter, she's just totally bypassing the actual law of the land. Like she's got some sort of right of access. But it's the way she said, my daughter. It's like, you can tell so much about people by what words they use. Obviously, it's one of the ways we judge people, what they say, but specifically focus on the words, my daughter. It's a claim of ownership. Like, I wouldn't do that. I don't have ownership of anybody. I wouldn't, if I was, and remember this, it's just a 50-year-old woman, my daughter. What you would do is you would use her name, Husk, because she is an individual, or an individual human being with autonomy. She's not yours. So you would use her name, you would say, I'm here to see the beacon. It's an authority. It's an expression of authority, like she has some sort of authority. She doesn't. What she needs to get, a tiny little pea brain around, it's the complete opposite. If there is any power differential in reality, it would be the other way around. And what do I mean by that? I mean that it's natural for a grown adult to be protective of their older parents and to have no, I'm losing my thoughts there. It's at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is you don't have any rights just because you squeezed them out 50 years ago and did, quite frankly, a pathetic job of raising them. I don't know how the beacon turned out the way she did, but it was no thanks to you. You should be eternally grateful, and they should have that kind of authority over you in terms of, they should have more leeway. Your kids, you're meant to be older and wiser, so they're still learning, making mistakes. They might get more things wrong, and you would give them more tolerance, more leeway, be more forgiving for their mistakes. You you don't get the same tolerance. Because you're meant to have been here for 74 years. And you cannot work any of this out. You're dumb. And once a parent starts to make so many mistakes and the behaviour is repetitive and you can see the pattern, there's only so many times you can forgive. It's an abusive relationship. At some point you've got to get out. But she thinks she has a right. That's why she's so mean and cruel to her two kids. Because she thinks she has protection, a right. Because of this special allowance where she wouldn't do that to somebody. She wouldn't have emotionally, I mean, she's always manipulating, but she wouldn't do it. She's quite overt with it, with Jill, with Beacon. It started getting very overt. The snidey remarks were becoming more obvious, more out front for all to see. Hurtful, callous, cruel. And because she, the older she gets, the more she's starting to think that she can get away with murder. And nobody's going to stand up to her because of her perceived authority. And when she moved into our property, she thought that's it. I've got total security, total power. They're not going to chuck me out and make me homeless. And now I'm here, I'm going to start asserting my authority in a more overt way. And it started coming out more and more. And then when stepdad died, it was like she had nobody to abuse who was so close to her, i.e. living with her, literally living and sleeping with her. And that had to go somewhere, and it went to the Beacon. She needs to dump her guilt and shame every day. It's like a cycle, it's like Groundhog Day. Feel like trash every morning. Self-loathing. It's all Phil Connors is. It's just a narcissist who's self-loathing, hates himself, hates life, and loves to manipulate and feed his big fat ego, eat lots of food, sleep with lots of women, manipulate, and it gets to the point where he was suicidal because he hates himself so much. It's just an allegory for sociopaths, narcissists, and until they change, they'll just go through that cycle every day. And it's hard to change. But look at that film in that context, and you'll learn a lot. So, she's got no respect. I've been to see my daughter. And again, stop. This is what I said to her. Stop acting antisocial. Do not come back to this property, on this property, without permission. And she was trying to close the door. And the car door. So I opened it. And I was like, let us go. Or, like she was saying it now, let us go. And I'm like, once you acknowledge it. Because she won't acknowledge it because she knows she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to respect it. She can't give us that. Fortunately, the legal system is on my side. Husk, and don't think that I'm scared to use it. And anyway, he's just staring at us. He's a total weeb. Anyway, drove away. Childishly, I banged on the back window as they drove off. And I'm full of anger, which is what she wants. So I go in the house, ask Beacon if she's alright and what happened. And yeah, she came and dropped the presents off. Her Beacon thinks she was just going to leave them at the back porch. And she thinks that she saw her, or really they saw each other. And Jill went to the back door. Sorry, the Beacon went to the back door. Because that's... She said, maybe I should have just ignored her. And she probably would have just scuttled off. But she went to the back door. Now she's given her an in straight away. So she gives her these pathetic gift bags. And she's like trying to stroke her arm and saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Physically. What are you talking about? Physically? I mean, I know you might not be mentally. Husk is called emotionally. She doesn't even know how to ask these questions. She doesn't know how upset and angry her own daughter is. And anyway, maybe I'll see it. She's putting on a fake, kind voice. And it's totally manipulative. Total manipulation. Because all you need to do, Husk, even at this late stage in the game, all you need to do is say, "I'm sorry." And she hasn't done that. She hasn't done that once to the Beacon, because she's not sorry. She doesn't think she's done anything wrong. This is all my fault, the boogeyman. My behaviour that's caused all of this. How dare I try and defend my wife from her abuse and stand up to her? How dare I? I'm her mother, I'm allowed to abuse her. I abuse her and wrap it up as love. Because I've got an actual inverted satanic mindset. So she's manipulating her for trying to. And eventually just leaves because I think they're away on their Christmas holiday with their golden child, roadkill. What else does that say on that? So she saw me walking the dog, and then the opportunity has presented itself. The Beacon's come to the back door. Which is a natural thing. You see somebody in your back garden, where do you go? Back door. You don't go upstairs and go to bed. So she's seen me out, and the opportunity has presented itself, so she's now standing at the back door open, trying to manipulate the Beacon. And she's telling herself, after the recording that we heard, that she accidentally sent to us, we know that she's lying to him about how I'm behaving. And she's obviously not going to be telling him the truth about, what she's done, what her part in all of this is. She's spinning him a yarn that it's all me, I don't like her, and I wanted rid of her, and I'm controlling the Beacon. She has to spin it as me controlling the Beacon, because she has to have a scapegoat. It can't be herself, and it can't be her daughter. It will become her daughter. If it had to be, it would become. But in this scenario, she doesn't want to, it would be too hurtful to her pride and to her ego if she had to admit to herself that her daughter's done this, or admit it to him that, it's my daughter, man. She's messed up. Because her daughters are an extension of her, remember? So they have to remain perfect in other people's eyes. So you've got to remember what yarns, just spinning him. So she's probably gone back to him. I've turned up, I've been aggressive. It's not, well, it's self-defense. There's nothing aggressive about me as a person, unless I'm defending myself and my family. So she's probably gone back to him and said, see how aggressive he is, and he's probably said, and how was Jill? And Jill was, Beacon. And the Beacon was, I said, and how, she's telling us how she was with her. And she was just like cold and almost non-responsive. So that coldness, she would have picked up on, because dragons can feel cold. But she'll have gone back to him and said, oh, you know what it is, ATM. She seems so sad and pleased to see us. Yeah, I think it's all him, This is what she'll be spinning. It's all him. I'm controlling her. What she doesn't understand is that by spinning me as the scapegoat, what has to then happen is she has to frame whether she understands she's doing this or not. Doesn't matter, it's what she's doing. To make me the controlling scapegoat, she has to paint the Beacon as a walkover, as somebody who is manipulated and controlled by their husband. And she's painting us as being in an abusive relationship. And she'll be garnering sympathy for her daughter, the Beacon, and to hammer home the scapegoat narrative that I'm a controlling husband and it's me that's removing access to her daughter and her granddaughter, and it couldn't be further from the truth. The only thing that I'm adamant of is that she does not come on the property without permission, but that permission can come from my own daughter. It's a shared house, and somebody only needs permission from one party. This is legal, but it's the way we operate anyway. I can't stop anybody coming to the house who the Beacon wants to bring to the house. That obviously would be a sign of an abusive relationship. So it's blatantly obvious. So when I'm adamant she doesn't come without permission, that's all I mean. She doesn't come on the property without permission. She respects that boundary until she's got an invite from her daughter. But she doesn't want to see that because she doesn't want to admit that her daughter doesn't want to see her. It's too painful. She can't deal with the shame and guilt of that massive truth. So, but my point is, she's painting her own daughter, the Beacon, the light of the world. She's painting her as a weak woman. So it's a double insult. She's insulting her own daughter by blaming her husband, and doubly insulting her by painting her as a weak woman. So she's actually doing more harm than what she realizes by telling lies. This is why lies are so destructive. And back in the day, she would have been the husk. She would have been the first person to say that nobody gets between me and the Beacon. Nobody gets between you two. I know that. I can see that. And she knows that if a family member, whoever, regardless of their status in the family hierarchy, no family member wrongs her husband. You wrong him, you wrong me. And you also wrong our daughter. And that's how the triangle works. Perfectly balanced triangle. You hurt one, you hurt the other. I don't understand why that's so difficult for people to grasp. Just because you're a mother, you think this is what she thinks. She thinks that she can continue to abuse me, which is what it is. Don't lies about us. And somehow gain back the trust of her daughter. This is how delusional she is. This is how these people think. It's built on trust, pet. Just like any relationship, foundation is trust. It's not on blood. This is how people think. Unwavering loyalty to blood. What absolute horse manure. Trust. And it hurts more when you realise that you can't trust your own mother. So it's actually doubly as dangerous to lose trust of a family member. To stab a family member in the back. So anyway, where was I? Total manipulation. Oh, so anyway, the gifts. It was pathetic. Pathetic gifts. And this is why she's never had any contact with her in however many months. She's never made any attempt to apologise. Oh, that's the other thing about the apology. You need to, what you do is you apologise, but you explain to the person what it is you did wrong, why it's wrong, and how you're going to avoid it. That's what it has to be when it gets to this point. Tell us what you've done wrong, and now I know you understand it. But you can't do that. So anyway, so she hasn't seen her in however many months. She's made no real effort to fix things, apologise. But on this day, Christmas Eve, the gift, these material, worthless, and by worthless, I don't mean cheap money-wise. I mean, they bring with them no real worth. There is no worth attached to them. They're meaningless. Tat. But the power of the ritual of the gift giving, right? I haven't seen her for 6 months properly. I haven't had a conversation, haven't apologised, haven't done anything. I know I'm not allowed to step foot on the property, but all of that's going out of the window because I need to get these gifts to them. I need to get these gifts. The gifts are, more important than emotions. It's dumping guilt. That's what those gifts come with. A big spoonful guilt. And it's just, plus there was gifts from one of her so-called friends, the Husk's friends, for the beacon. And it's like, that's another part of why she needs to give these gifts, because they don't go back to our friend and say, when our friend says, did the beacon like me gift? What's she going to say? I mean, she would lie if she had to, but she doesn't want to lie, and she doesn't want to say, oh, I didn't give it to him because I've completely ruined my relationship with the beacon. She can't. She's got to live fake life with her friends, that everything is fine. And so the gifts, hat, but also like way off the mark in terms of what the beacon likes, and the gifts for our daughter as well, because we'll just let her open them. She didn't want the curiosity. It's just because it's painful. She wants to get rid of the pain. It is painful. She's 15. Can I just open them and then I can deal with the pain? Yeah, fill your boots. So way off the mark. Because this year, she didn't get any lists, the husk. Because that's how this family operates. They don't know each other. Because they don't care to even get to know each other, and they haven't got the emotional intelligence to get to know someone. You have to have emotional intelligence to really, really get to know someone. Otherwise, it's just kind of listening to things, trying to pick up when they say, oh, I like that perfume, write that down quick. Or you see them wearing a label, a brand. Well, he likes them t-shirts. Get him a Hugo Boss t-shirt. I've seen him wear those. But it's not real, is it? It's just logic. The real gift would be when you really, really deep down get to know somebody, and then you buy them a gift based off pure intuition and imagination. Something that they haven't got. I've got loads of Hugo Boss t-shirts. I haven't, but, you know, it's not a gift, is it? So, just way off the mark, because this is what I said to our daughter. Our daughter even said, that perfume, I don't even like it. Why she bought us that perfume? Or it's just because it's Ariana Grande. That's it. And she'll have seen it on some sort of advert or something, associated with 15-year-old girls, and I'll get a that. Because you don't know who she is. I bought the Beacon some perfume. Bought her 50th. I chose it. She's heard of the brand. She's never heard of the actual fragrance, and it's not something she's ever smelt or bought. And she loves it. Because I know what my woman wants. Anyway, and this is what was said to her, she doesn't know you. So this is why these people exchange lists. It's not to keep it, they'll say, oh, it's to keep it easy and make sure you get what you want. I want you to get what you actually want. And what I want is you to put some thought into it. But that's why they exchange lists. Otherwise they'd be lost. So without the list, she's lost. And it just goes to show. So, and then the other thing, she got an envelope full of cash. Our daughter, her granddaughter. Again, remember, this woman's got nothing. That's why she was living in our back garden. She's got nothing. And this is why, because she buys people's affection. And it's a very expensive hobby, especially when you're a husk, because it doesn't come easy being affectionate towards a lost, empty shell of a woman. Affection doesn't come easy. So no wonder you're skint. And this is what she does. So she just gives money. She doesn't know what to buy, so she gives money. And her excuse will be, so you can get what you want. No, it's so you can offload your guilt and buy. She's always obsessed with, and how much did such and such give you? And what did they? She's weighing up that she's the best. Because she thinks everybody values people based on how much money they give them. And that she's buying our loyalty. That's what she thinks. And it's just, even my daughter, I said, how does it feel to get money? And she just said, well, just like the knob father all over again. And like, she recognises the pattern. People let you down, and then they just try and buy back your affection by giving you money. She recognises it. And it's just sad. But we used to say this about the knob father to the husk back in the day when things were fine. Well, they were never fine, but you thought they were fine. We used to say things like, oh, he's just trying to send her money, he doesn't know what else to do, he's just trying to tick in a box, just trying to buy some sort of affection. And she used to agree, yeah, I agree totally. But she does, because she's a hypocrite. But what you've got to go back to is, she wasn't really agreeing. And by that, I don't necessarily mean she disagreed. I mean, she doesn't know what we're talking about. She can't conceptualize what it is we're talking about. It's just, we send in a card and there's money in it, so she can buy something. It's just logic. What you do. It's because it's accepted in society as well. The learned behaviour. Because she's antisocial, her disorder is antisocial. She can't work out what is socially acceptable. So she learns behaviours and customs. So when she goes to a funeral, she knows to wipe her eyes because she's looked around what are other people doing. When it's somebody's birthday and they're singing a song, she knows to smile and clap and go away. And when someone's feeling sad, she knows to, rub their arm, unless it's their own daughter. They're learned behaviours, because these sociopaths, because their emotional brain is completely broken, they have literally zero emotions. And therefore emotional intelligence is zero. And it's a difficult place to be, because everybody talks about empathy, everybody talks about sorrow and grief and joy, and whether it's positive or negative emotions, everybody talks about them. So these zombies, they know that they're different. And that it must be a horrible, horrible world to live in, knowing that you're that different and that you don't actually know how to behave in society, what is socially acceptable. So it's learned. You learn what to do, and that's why she can't be trusted. Getting where I was with that. Where was I with that? That's why she can't be trusted. I think that's it for today.